Welcome, everyone, to the Housing and Municipal Government Committee. Before we get started, I'll have the clerk take the roll.
Chairman Lombardo.
Here.
Senator Coleman.
Here.
Senator Rogers.
Here.
Senator Anderson. Senator Mack.
Present.
Senator Picard.
Here.
Whip Cruz.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Rogers.
Oh, sorry, Senator Rogers.
Here.
Got him. Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We have 2 bills up for consideration and 6 bills for hearing or consideration. First 2 bills are Senator Coyne's bills for consideration. We heard these bills approximately 3 weeks ago regarding the act would delete a portion of enabling stature of the Bristol County Water Authority. There is an amendment, and the amendment is language only, and that is so that it is a complete companion bill to the House version. Do I hear a motion for passage? By Senator Coleman, seconded by Senator Rogers. Clerk, you take roll call, please, on bill number 655.
Chairman Lombardo.
Yes.
Senator Coleman.
Yes.
Senator Rogers.
Yes.
Senator Mack.
Yes.
Senator Picard.
Yes.
Senator Cruz. Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Rogers. Okay. Next bill we'll be voting on, same, bill number 656 by Senator Coyne. Do I hear a motion for passage? By Senator Rogers, second by Senator Coleman. Clerk, take the roll.
Chairman Lombardo.
Yes.
Senator Coleman.
Yes.
Senator Rogers.
Yes.
Senator Mack.
Yes.
Senator Picard.
Yes.
Senator Cruz.
Yes.
Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
Both bills will move to the floor. Next bill up for consideration or hearing is bill number 391 by Senator Quesada, an act relating to public utilities and carriers, Rhode Island Public Transit Authority. Increases the number of members of the Transit Authority from 8 to 9. It would make the mayor or his designee an ex officio member with voting privileges. Senator Quesada, welcome to the committee.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you to all the members of the committee. This is not a new bill. This bill has been in front of you before. I don't remember how many times. The reason we have this bill put it today is we're putting at the beginning. It was because we want the opportunity for anybody who is the mayor of the city of Providence to have a seat on the table for the board, for this important board. Because one of the problems that we're having is sometimes they make decisions around the city to change or add or remove. Especially, I want to give you an example. A few years ago, they decided to change the bus stop in the city. And in my district, I had a lot of phone calls from people because they changed, especially where elderly housing was, they changed and put it too far for them. And I had to go to speak to the director of transportation, and what he said was, we did a community meeting and nobody showed up and nobody said anything. But when I asked him how he did that, he said, we put it in the newspapers. Many people, unfortunately, in my community don't read the newspaper, and we wasn't aware of that. And he was able to put some of those bus stops back to where it was before. But this is just one reason why we think it's good for the city of Providence to have a seat and vote in any decision they're making, because they know the city better, and they will be able to advise them at the time they're making decision. And and I think it's good for anybody who is the mayor at that time, for them to be able to advocate and to be there and give them the point of view coming from especially the capital city of the state. With that, if anybody had any question, I would try to ask. But I know it's going to be so many people from the city of Providence who are going to be testifying and going to be able, I'm sure, to give you more information about it too. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Quesada. Do we have any questions for Senator Quesada? Okay, there are 2 people signed up to testify.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie Nicholson, representing the City of Providence Department of Planning and Development. Bonnie, welcome to the committee. Floor is all yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Chairman Lombardo and members of the Senate Housing and Municipal Government Committee. My name is Bonnie Nicholson. I serve as the City of Providence's City Planning Director, and I'm here to offer my support for Senate Bill 391 to expand the membership of the RIPTA board to include the Mayor of Providence or his or her designee. Expanding the RIPTA board to include a City of Providence representative is important for a number of reasons. Providence has the highest percentage of RIPTA riders of any municipality in the state and contains the greatest share of RIPTA's services, routes, facilities, and investments, all of which impact our city significantly. Greater city representation on the state board is a win for RIPTA riders and is a real opportunity to improve transit access in the capital city. The City of Providence is also a significant supporter and contributor to RIPTA, both contributing to capital projects like the recent DTC, the Downtown Transit Connector. For that project, the city received a $13 million federal grant, and that grant was given to RIPTA to support this project. Through investments in our traffic signals to offer traffic signal priority for buses, through our public right-of-way to support bus-only lanes, and even where there are difficult trade-offs like parking revenue from downtown parking spaces. So we significantly contribute to RIPTA's sort of capital costs and also operational costs. We have a robust public school pass program, for example. As RIPTA pursues expanded investments in transit services, coordination with the capital city is really critical. So from those transit priority treatments, like I mentioned, traffic signals and bus lanes, to bus stop improvement, to the future of Kennedy Plaza, the city is intricately involved in shaping RIPTA's future. City staff and RIPTA staff work closely and collaboratively on all these issues, but the city should have a seat at the table where the state board is making decisions about investments and operations that have such a big impact on Providence. Also, I think it's important that the city have a seat on the board to ensure the success of transit service in the city and state. A great example is the recent completed Rhode Island Transit Master Plan, which sets forward a really bold vision for transit. Many of those investments will happen in Providence in close coordination with the city. One project to highlight is the proposed light rail or BRT line on North Main Street and Elmwood Avenue in Providence. So the city has a long coordination with RIPTA, and while relationships and competent staff drive that coordination, there is an opportunity to be better coordinated, and I believe that coordination is really important at the board level. Transit agencies rely on city resources and support, and it's not uncommon for cities to represent their residents, but also their resources and expertise at that board level. So what might change if the City of Providence were more directly helping shape transit policy? We believe more accountability to ensure RIPTA serves riders as effectively as they can, as the city greatly understands the mobility needs of our residents, but also holds Providence accountable to make sure it better understands the needs of RIPTA. RIPTA is a major component of the state's transportation system, but also a major component of the city's transportation system. City representation on the board would establish a clear relationship between the city and the state transit system and create consistency with city policies and investments that could improve even more transit operations and service. So we believe a more direct role in transit policy, with that, the city can better support both RIPTA and its residents. Thanks so much for the opportunity to offer comments today on behalf of the City of Providence. Thank you very much.
Bonnie, thank you very much for your testimony.
Thank you.
Do we have any questions for Bonnie from the committee? Hearing none, Bonnie, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Next testifying on the bill is Joe Buchanan, representing himself in support. Joe, welcome to the committee. The floor is all yours.
All right, my name is Joseph P. Buchanan. I'm the president of the Black Political Action Committee, as well as a Democratic voter, and also a senior citizen. I'm in support of Anna Quesada's bill, and also the city of Providence should be represented on the board of RIPTA. Because in my opinion, we don't have the people on that board with the integrity that it takes to see what is happening in the city of Providence as far as the RIPTA riders are concerned. We need RIPTA in our community. We need people on the board that's going to serve our community, our city, and our state. And we need people of color on the RIPTA board. And I definitely am in full support of what Anna Quesada, that bill, wants to do. So if you all want to actually help the poor and black and brown community and the poor white community in this city and in this state, you will put somebody from the city of Providence, on that board of RIPTA. Thank you.
Joe, thank you very much for your passionate testimony. Do we have any questions for Joe? Hearing none. Joe, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
God bless you.
At this time, do I hear a motion to hold for further study? Made by Senator Rogers, seconded by Senator Mack. Clerk, will you take the roll?
Chairman Lombardo.
Yes.
Senator Coleman.
Yes.
Senator Rogers.
Yes.
Senator Gallo.
Yeah.
Senator Mack.
Yes.
Senator Picard.
Yes.
Senator Dela Cruz.
Yes.
Motion's held, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Senator Gallo, thank you very much for joining us. Would you be voting in support of the first two bills?
Yes, I'm sorry I couldn't hear, but you couldn't hear me. So, yes, please.
So moved. Next bill on the agenda is bill number 794, bill number 500 by Senator Bell, an act relating to towns and cities zoning ordinance / neighborhoods. Senator Bell, welcome to the committee. Glad to have you back.
Thank you so much. Great to be back in this committee. So what this piece of legislation does is modernize our zoning abandonment standards. A couple of years ago, there was a Rhode Island Supreme Court case that called the Sigarea decision that forced a three-family home in South Providence to be downgraded to a two-family home because they could not meet the standard to prove that the zoning use had never been abandoned. So currently, Rhode Island has extraordinarily harsh zoning abandonment standards that frequently force multifamily homes to be downgraded towards less dense housing. What this would do is modernize our abandonment standards to prevent housing from being forced out under zoning. I've spent a lot of time working on the specific details of this bill, and I'd be more than happy to take any questions about the specifics.
Thank you, Senator Bell. Questions? Senator Rogers.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a quick question. I understand the point of this, and I don't disagree with the bill. It's just, wouldn't the tax cause dictate whether it was a single family, double family, or triple family in the taxing? So when they went to prove it was a three family or two family, wouldn't the tax bills have been clear enough proof that it was an existing three family?
So the reality of record keeping in many Rhode Island municipalities, going back to the 30s, 40s, and 50s, can make it extraordinarily difficult to prove a standard. And if there's a single year that it was abandoned and perhaps was used as a two-family maybe once, or you can't prove that that wasn't the case, sometimes you're forced to downgrade. Sometimes also a building may burn down. There's a building in my district on Cortlandt Street that burnt down. It was a four-family home, burnt down. It's abandoned too long, and now it cannot be rebuilt as a four-family. It can only be rebuilt as a two-family. So you're right often that tax records do allow proof when they exist, when they've been preserved in ideal circumstances, and many homes are able to be preserved because of that. That is not always the case in the realities of Rhode Island municipal government, unfortunately.
Thank you. Any other questions for Senator Bell? Senator Bell, like last year when we heard this bill, I do applaud you for this bill. Housing is a huge problem, not just here in Rhode Island, but across the nation. And I think this bill will help the housing situation across Rhode Island. With that being said, we're going to hold a further study.
Motion to hold.
By Senator Gallo, seconded by Senator Rogers. Clerk, take the roll.
Chairman Lombardo,
Yes.
Senator Coleman,
Yes.
Senator Rogers,
Yes.
Senator Gallo,
Yeah.
Senator Mack,
Yes.
Senator Picard,
Yes.
Senator De La Cruz.
Yes.
Motion's held, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Bell. Enjoy your evening.
You too. Thank you so much.
We're going to go out of order here, and we're going to take Senator De La Cruz's bill next. Bill number 831, an act relating to taxation, levy, and assessment of local taxes. Senator De La Cruz, welcome to the committee, and the floor is all yours. Senator De La Cruz, you're on mute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was notified by Legislative Counsel that the companion piece of legislation the Senate submitted was a bit different than the House version. And so I think it was just a few words, but Leg Counsel had said it would be easier to strike the law because it will remain intact as is because the House version is enacted. So this would clear up the confusion, and again, it wouldn't change anything for Burrillville. It would just remove this duplicative piece of legislation.
Thank you, Senator De La Cruz. Any questions for Senator De La Cruz? Since this bill already exists, and it's just clearing up some language, do I hear a motion for passage by Senator Rogers?
Yep.
Seconded by
Motion to pass.
Senator Gallo. Roll, will you take the call, please?
Yeah.
Chairman Lombardo,
Yes.
Senator Coleman,
Yes.
Senator Rogers,
Yes.
Senator Gallo,
Yeah.
Senator Mack, Senator Mack,
Yes.
yep,
Yeah.
Senator Picard,
Yes.
Whip De La Cruz.
Yes.
Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
We'll go to the floor, full Senate floor for passage. The next two bills we'll take together. They are Department of Transportation bills, one by Senator Goodwin, Bill number 794, an act relating to motor and other vehicles, size, weight, and load limits. And Bill number 833 by Senator Lombardo, an act relating to motor and other vehicles, size, weight, and load limits. We do have John Priest from the Department of Transportation, which will give us a detailed information on both bills. John, welcome to the committee. John, you can testify on both bills and give us an explanation of both bills. Bills number 794 by Senator Goodwin and Bill 833 by myself. John, welcome, and the Floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Good afternoon, and thank you, members of the committee, for hearing this bill. So the first one I have is for oversized, overweight vehicles. The revisions in this general law are meant to improve public safety and to preserve infrastructure in Rhode Island. The key revisions are meant to make it easier, cheaper, and more friendly for industry to follow the Rhode Island general law. This includes a reduction in the permit fees in some instances. It includes going completely electronic. It includes less travel restrictions and allowing some permits to be combined. However, carriers that do not comply with the general law in this revision will face higher violations. The changes also clarify some inconsistencies and remove some conflicts that the state police and the courts have brought up. And I feel it's important to note that RIDOT does not receive any monies from these permits, whether it's the permit fee or the violation. All those fees go to the Rhode Island General Fund. Also, the revisions that are included in this are coordinated with the state police, or in many instances recommended by the state police, and we have also worked closely with the courts to make sure they agree with all the changes. The second bill for weight restrictions and closing of bridges, this is to comply with federal highway mandate. So we're required by federal highway that when we find or are notified of a condition of a bridge, we have 30 days to issue that weight restriction or closure. This requirement is part of the National Bridge Inspection Standards, and the state is held accountable regardless of ownership of the bridge. So both for a public safety and for satisfying the NBIS, the National Bridge Inspection Standards, RIDOT seeks the legal authority to place weight restrictions or close any bridge regardless of ownership based on the bridge inspection or structural analysis that is performed by RIDOT. And we will perform the analysis on any bridge if the owner does not have adequate resources to meet the requirements. And we will also make requests to cities and towns to post and or close the bridges, and if they don't have the adequate resources, we will then go ahead and we give us the authority to go ahead and be able to close the bridge. The intent of this proposed legislation is not to relieve owners of the responsibility of the weight restricting or closing, but just allow RIDOT to perform the critical function for public safety as well as satisfying the federal highway requirements.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John, for your testimony. I just want to make the committee aware that Bill number 833 does have a sub-A, and it mirrors the identical bill on the House side. So if you have an opportunity, take a look at the sub-A. There is some language changes in that. Do we have any questions for John from the committee? Senator Rogers.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question for clarification. I also understand that box culverts are considered bridge and fall under the Department of Transportation for inspections. But my question is, at what point is it considered a bridge or a box culvert that's considered a bridge? Is it 5 feet or 10 feet in width?
So thank you, Senator. I know we've had this discussion before. So according to Rhode Island general law, it's kind of non-specific. It says on state roadways, 5 feet is a bridge regardless of the type of structure it's made of. So even if you were to have two pipes that are 4 foot in diameter next to each other, that would constitute a bridge under Rhode Island general law. So it is the 5 feet. The National Bridge Standards defines a bridge as a span of 20 feet, and that is also regardless of the type of the structure. So even if it were, we'll say, 5 or 4 foot pipes next to each other, that under federal regulations is still considered a bridge. So it has nothing to do with the material or shape. It's simply what we would call the span length.
Thank you. And I know we had that discussion, but I forgot about it, and I wanted to clarify it because it had been bugging me since that discussion, trying to figure that one out. But that does help.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions for John? John, I do know the previous administration was fully supportive of these two bills. We've been in contact with the governor's office, this administration, to just make sure they are on board. And once we get the green light with that, we'll bring this back. But as of right now, I hear a motion to hold by Senator Rogers, seconded by Senator Picard. Roll. Clerk?
Chairman Lombardo.
Yes.
Senator Coleman.
Yes.
Senator Rogers.
Yes.
Senator Gallo.
Yes.
Senator Mack.
Yes.
Senator Picard.
Yes.
Motion's held, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. John, thank you very much for your testimony. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you. You too.
Last bill on the agenda is Bill 862, an act ratifying and validating the amendments to the Home Rule Charter out of town of Bristol. This was supported and voted on in the last election. Senator Feelag is not with us. Do we have any questions regarding this bill? Since it was voted on by the constituents in Bristol, do I hear a motion to pass?
Motion to pass.
Moved.
By Senator Rogers and Senator Picard. Clerk, you take the roll?
Chairman Lombardo.
Yes.
Senator Coleman.
Yes.
Senator Rogers.
Yes.
Senator Gallo. Senator Mack.
Yes.
Senator Picard.
Yes.
Motion passes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. With that being said, that does end our meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn by Senator Rogers, seconded by Senator Picard? All in favor say aye. Opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. I want to wish everybody a great upcoming weekend, a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and I will see everybody next Tuesday.